Hey, this is Adam from the Adam Wines Guitar Academy, and in today's video we're going to be doing part 2 of chord melody work. Last video we talked about major triads and major 7 chords on the top 3 and 4 strings. So we had like this G triad, and we did like some scale notes on the way to the other inversions and whatnot. So today we're going to continue from there, and so we had talked about the major triads, so we're going to do the minor triads today. We'll stay in the key of G, and in the key of G you've got 3 minor triads. You have the A minor, the B minor, and the E minor. And actually E minor and G major are the same key, which is helpful and very useful to be aware of. So let's go to A minor first. We'll do the triad. Normally, you know, you have your typical A minor chord like this, the open position that most people are familiar with. The notes in this particular chord are A, an E right here, right there, and another a C, and an E. So there's some doubling up there, but at its core, you have an A, a C, and an E, a root, a third, and a fifth, just like whereas the G major triad had a G, a B, and a D as a root, third, and fifth. So if we do a little triad, we can start, we'll actually get an open string by doing this. So it's kind of like the A minor chord, but it's like the top part. And we have an A, a C, and an open E. So normally it would be fingered like this and you'd have something going there, but because, you know, there's no fret there, we have an open string, which is totally cool. So we get that. So we're gonna need to go over to this area next. So that's C, E, and A right there. It's just a little bar. And the last one we're gonna get an E down here. So this one's gonna be E, A, C. That's frets 9 on the G string, 10 on the B string, and 8 on the E string. So those are the notes we're gonna get there. And then you could go, this would be starting over again. That's another A root position with the A down here. It's just like this one, it's just now you've got that 12th fret instead of the open string. And like some, you know, a fun kind of chord melody-ish thing to do, just like we did before with the G triads, and we added some scale notes up top. We could do the same thing. We could go like that, hit the F, the G, and then come over to to this inversion. It's pretty cool. So you got, then we could grab this B note on the way over to this one, grabbing the D note, 10th fret on the E string, over on the way over to that, which is the same thing from down here. So if we put that all together, F, G, chord with the A on the top, B, grab the D, has a very nice sound. But we want to be in the key of G, so instead of that F that I grabbed, we actually would want to grab F sharp. So that's how this would go. So F sharp right there, then the B, G, E. So if we wanted to be consistent and stay in the key of G major, we just need to make sure we grab that F sharp. Now, if we wanted to make that the jazz chord, we need to add the 7th in. So, E, A. We would need to start here if we want to start at the lowest point on the guitar. It's a little bit of a different shape. So we have E, A, C, G. So we have E right here, A on the 3rd string, so 2nd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string, 1st fret on the B string, and then 3rd fret on the E string, E, A, C, and G. Then the chord here, if we wanted to make it the jazz chord, we'd actually just need to add the G underneath it. So we have G, C, E, and A. So this is A minor 7 with G in the bass. Then the next one, we had this last time. So this one's gonna have to be modified a little bit. It's not going to be quite the same. We're actually going to have A down here on the D string, which is 7th fret on the D. E right here, that's 9th on the G. G on the B string, which is fret 8, and then another fret 8 on the E string. which is C. So we have A, E, G, C. Then the next one we have this E. Same deal here. We're not going to be able to keep the same shape from before. It's going to have to be modified a bit. So we have C on the D string, which is fret 8, G on the 12th fret of the 3rd string, A, 10th fret on the B string, and then E up here on the 1st string, 12th fret. I'm actually having to bar my first finger on the 10th fret on strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. So basically I have a bar, then I'm adding my 3rd finger on fret 12 of the G string, and my pinky on fret 12 of the high E string to get that chord. And then we're kind of like where we started before. It's that same chord from down here. Now, if I were to add some scale notes, I'd start with that chord. And we would actually just go right to the next chord. But then I could grab this B, which would make it A minor 9. So if you wanted to play the chord again, that would sound very nice. Then we'd have this. Then we'll use a finger to grab the D real quick on the way over to that chord, and then we want that F sharp, not the F. No, not a big deal. We could play both, like a little chromatic thing. So we have that. So putting that all together, and actually what we could do, we could kind of do a little thing where we could do that. I'm just kind of going back down a little bit and then coming back up. G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G. Over to the A, grab the B, grab the D, chromatic line. So that's just a fun little thing to do to kind of get you into the habit of thinking about what notes to put over top of a chord. So, as we mentioned, the next chord would be B minor. The shapes will be the same, but it'll work out a little differently. So, for example, this is the B minor triad. There's no real like open, B minor chord. A lot of times it would just be the bar chord, basically, or this one over here. So anyway, we're just playing the 3 notes: B, D, and F sharp. B is the root, D is the 3rd, F sharp is the 5th. Like that. So that's the first one. Then we have that one. It's a bar again. That's D, F sharp, and B. It's at the 7th fret this time. So you'll notice the shapes are the same. It's just a different area on the fingerboard, fretboard. And then we have the F sharp over here. That kind of shape. It's kind of like the D minor chord. It's like that shape, playing D minor, just up here. That's 11, 12, 10 from the G to the E string. And if we wanted to, we could go up the octave again. Now, we're going to use scale notes from the key A, G. So everything's natural except for the F. Every time I hit the F, it'll be F sharp. So, starting here on this F sharp, if we wanted to, we could grab the E and come back to the F sharp. Do an or chromatic thing if you want. We'll grab the G right there, grab this B. So we got and then finally have that B, hit a C, E, maybe do a chromatic thing again, something like that. Sounds pretty cool. Now the jazz chords, same principle. We're actually going to have to do kind of a weird thing here to get the jazz chords. We're going to have an open D and an open B. Because normally you would have that bar thing, so like up the octave, it looks like this. It's that chord from before when we played A minor. And it looked like that. It's that same shape with the bar and the ring and the pinky. We just are up 2 frets. And so what I'm doing is if I come down the octave, I normally would have that bar, but the bar would be on the opens. So you get that open G, the open D and the open B. And it's ring and pinky, so A and F sharp. So that it's open, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret. Right there. Then we will have that shape from before, but now it's just at B minor. So we have F sharp, B, D, and A. 4, 4, 3, 5. Then we've got the bar for the normal kind of B minor 7. That's just 7, 7, 7, 7. We have A, D, F sharp, and B. We got this one. This is 9, 11, 10, 10, B, F sharp, A, D, and then we're up the octave again. Now, if you wanted to put some scale notes on that, we would have, if we wanted to, we could hit the open, come back, or even do the chromatic thing. Grab that G right there. Just come right to this chord on the B, hit a C on the way over to the D, hit an E on the way over to that one with the F sharp, or do a little chromatic line if you wanted to. Okay, so that was B minor. So we've done A minor, we've done B minor, the 2 and the 3 chord. Now we're going to come over to the 6th chord, which is E minor, or E minor 7 if we had the 7th. Actually, you just do 3 open strings and you get your E minor triad, just 3 opens, which is that 12. You know, if we were to do it at the 12th fret, it looked like that little bar. That would be G, B, and E, G, B, and E. The next one, that D minor kind of shape, that's B, E, and G, or 4, 3, 4, 5, 3. Then we have this one again, just like that. Looks kind of like an F chord almost, but it's on the top 3 strings. That's 9, 8, 7. And then we were back at this one with the bar, G, B, and E. All right, so adding in the scale notes on the top, we got the open. Could hit that, F sharp on the way, or we could go a little chromatic thing on the way over to that chord, grabbing the A on the way to this one. Gonna grab that C right there, and then a D with the pinky, 10th fret, over to the E right there. Now, with the jazz version, same thing. We could actually add the open 4 string for the 7th, which is D. So it's just all open strings. This one is E, B, D, F sharp, 2, 4, 3, 3. This one is that one with the bar, and barring across 5 this time. So it's 5, 7, 5 again with the bar, and then 7. That's G, G, D, E, B right there. And then we got this one. That is 9, 9, 8, 10. That's B, E, A, and D. And then finally we have that one again. Just a bar, D, G, B, E, 12, 12, 12, 12. Okay, now we're going to add in those scale tones. Maybe hit that F sharp on the way to that chord. Grab the A, grab the C on the way over to, let's see here, that one. Sorry, almost hit the wrong chord. So once again, or maybe hit some harmonics there. So very, very nice, very cool. Okay, so the way you would use this in practically speaking is as you're working on a tune, whatever that tune might be. Oftentimes you'll see that the chord is like, say, B minor, for example, and the melody note might be like a C. So you would have a you could have your B minor chord, but obviously, so we want to grab a C melody note so that this is too far away from a C. So a C would be right here. So we could do this little triad and then grab that C right there. So that would actually be kind of an odd melody note over a B minor. Not terribly odd, but it might be a little odd. So it'd probably be a B sometime soon after that. Back to our example of Happy Birthday. The B minor actually could sub for the G major. So if you recall, that's your B minor triad. So actually what would happen is if you were to mess with this to get the G, you would actually, this would turn into G major anyway. And then, same thing here. If we were to use the B minor, what we could do is kind of what we just talked about. We have that. So we could do something like right there. So that's that little B triad, grabbing that C and then the B there. We could also use B minor 7. That would sub in for the G major. It would be like a G major 9 without the G in the bass. So if we did that, typically speaking, so we'd have like that open one, or we could do this one. No, excuse me. There we go. So this is a B minor 7 with A up top here, F sharp in the bass. But actually, this would just kind of turn into G major 7 again, because you go to the G for the melody note. So when you grab the A melody note, it actually turns it into B minor 7. So you can see how related the G major and the B minor are. So what I'm doing there is I'm getting that B minor 7 with the A in the bass. And it's a bar, so it's just like that triad. I'm just adding an extra note in there. Grabbing the C and coming back. So that might be something like so just some ideas for you to mess with. All right, in the next video we will go over the 5 chord, which is really the dominant 7, and we may, if enough time, go over the diminished stuff as well, which is really, really cool. So I will see you in that next video. Take care.